What up, gang? I believe that I am calling this my week. All of the news that happened today with Donald Trump, Elon Musk, who knows what's going on there, but I can pretty much guarantee we also have NFP tonight. So it's high impact news. We have a couple of like the biggest names in the markets at the moment going at each other. And there is just no way in hell we're gonna get good price action tonight. There's no way. So yeah, I'm cracking a beer. I'm gonna sit down, do a recap of the markets last night because last night, in my opinion, was one of my best trading sessions. I think that I felt so fluent in the charts, and I don't know. I genuinely feel like that was one of my best sessions in terms of performance that I've ever had, and I didn't even take a trade. And I went to sleep last night. I was so stoked with my decision, with how I analyzed the markets, because I actually lost a trade coming in on Monday, I believe. I lost a trade with really similar market conditions, and I lost the trade and then used the same sort of thing yesterday to implement and avoid the trade and decide to hop off the charts at the right time. So without further ado, let's jump in and I will show you everything from my bias to, yeah, let's just recap what happened because it was a interesting session. Coming into the day, this was my high time frame draw on liquidity before, like, sort of a few hours before market opened. However, we had news release at 10:45. We took out that on NQ and ES. So that was my draw on liquidity, or like my high time frame, high strength draw on liquidity gone. And from here, I was really just looking for some sort of indication as to what the market wanted to do. Because on the higher time frames, we don't have anything further to target bullish. Like if you look at this, there's not really anything to go for. Sure, we could pick off some random highs in here, but all in all, it just wasn't really looking like we wanted to go long. And especially when you come over onto NQ, this is where things sort of made it very clear to me. We took out this high and we have relative equal lows with this low here on NQ. And if that isn't a clear indication of where the market is going to go, then I don't know what more you're looking for in the charts. We have a high time frame sweep, and I was just looking for or praying for some sort of confluence that I could take down to these lows. However, as is so freaking typical in the markets at the moment, it just ripped right on market open, and I don't take any trades before the macro. So macro opens 1150. If you look at 1150 here, we've already taken out that low. And so for me, I am still bearish because like I said, we didn't have anything to the upside. Do I really expect us to sweep this, and then also come back up? No, like I don't want to take that. That's just not something that I want to look for in my trading strategy. So I scaled down into this 15-minute time frame, and I was still open to shorting down to these relative equal lows on NQ with the idea that we're over extended on the higher time frame, and we have big imbalances in here on the sort of 1 hour and the 4 hour time frames. And I was looking at the market as we wanted to make that play. And so instead of marrying my bias, instead of sort of just making that final conclusive decision that I was gonna take a short, which is what I did on Monday, I waited for some sort of retracement. And for me, the only sort of close to an entry trade we had was equilibrium. I saw us come up here. We created a low time frame SMT in here, and once again, I didn't take it. I was disciplined, didn't take the trade off of this SMT because of the fact that we hadn't come into any 15-minute confluence. That ended up paying out as we came up into equilibrium. At this point in time, I was looking for a short. I was thinking that potentially we could see a reaction off of this high. We filled an equilibrium. ES was showing similar things. We'd come up, hadn't quite taken this high, but we'd taken out a couple draws on liquidity. And I thought that potentially we could see legs down to sort of continue that 15-minute bearish movement. However, my issue on Monday was that I didn't take into account the higher time frame. I stayed on the lower time frame. So yesterday I scaled out 15-minute time frame, and at this time I saw this candlestick, and realistically we created a, where was the SMT? I believe we created an SMT. Yeah, we create this high time frame bullish SMT on between the pairs. Come on, connect. So this is our bullish SMT. We have that low, and then obviously all the way over here. So it's super over exaggerated, and that was why I originally sort of wrote it off as not something important to me. However, when we see something this strong, reaction off of an SMT, do I really want to be looking for shorts? And the simple answer is just no. And seeing this candlestick form as well, we wick these lows, and then all of a sudden we're getting extensions up. That was my clear indication that it was just time to get off the charts. Usually I'm going to be sitting on the charts until all the way at 1 o'clock. And last night I just decided it's not worth my time. We have confluences indicating that we're going to go to the upside, and I'm stuck here looking for a short. It's just the right decision, and yeah, it ended up working out in my favor, man, because I could have sat there for another hour and I could have, seen a trade off of this candlestick. I'd say if we came in here, we could have seen a 3-minute inverse fair value gap. We could have literally seen it like this. You have a 3-minute inverse fair value gap, entries there. And that would have been a valid setup with my strategy. However, is that really something that I want to take when we have indications of being bullish? No. So looking back at it now and waking up this morning, seeing what the market did after I went to sleep, it was really freaking cool, and I was just super stoked to not make the same mistake that I made on Monday. So it's been a good day, man. I've just been fucking buzzing because that's all I'm looking for, is just progress every day. And realistically, that's all that I can ask for. Oh, but yeah, in terms of trading tonight, man, nothing from me. Market conditions last night, they weren't bad. I think market conditions are starting to sort of clear up, or I'm starting to get better at reading these new market conditions, I think. But tonight, too much news, too much excess impact on the market is probably the way to put it. We have unemployment rate, high impact news, non-farm employment change, which is also high impact news. And then on top of that, you've got Donald Trump, and I can pretty much guarantee, man, the market's going to open up and just move ridiculous. Even now, it's really surprising to me, actually, that through the day, we haven't seen anything major happen. Even though it is like an Asian and a London session, I would still be expecting to see some sort of major movements when there's like stuff like Donald Trump and Elon trying to kill each other, So yeah, I pretty much think that this is manipulation, almost like a retracement, and then I imagine tonight it's just going to open, we're going to dump. I'll still be sitting in the charts, I'll still be here, but I'm just not going to be open to the idea of trading. I'd rather finish the week in profit, even though it is only a sort of $200 profit. I'd rather finish the week in profit than risk my capital in unfavorable market conditions. Regardless, boys, that is that's how I managed the markets last night, and that's how I actually improved throughout the week. I think having that as my last day and seeing genuine improvement from Monday to Thursday, I'm a happy guy, man. If I can do that every week, day in and day out, then eventually we're going to get there. Eventually we're going to start making some really good money. And yeah, so I'm stoked, and that is my week. Peace and love. Thank you, boys, for tuning in. We'll be back with these videos next week. I probably won't recap Friday night because obviously I'm not trading. But yeah, have a good weekend, boys. Don't go too crazy. And I'm not going crazy either. But love.